Hi, I'm Cindy, and I'm going to demonstrate how to make a latch hook rug or wall hanging because most people who have tried to make them simply by following the directions in the kit have a really hard time understanding what it says. It's kind of complicated, but if somebody demonstrates it, it's real easy to do. Now, this is a poodle wall hanging I'm making for my mother. And most latch hook rugs are strictly latch hook, which is what this is, the poodle. This one, I've decided to use a sewing technique for the background. And that's the easiest technique. Not that any of it is that hard. For that, you will need an embroidery needle with a big hole so that your yarn fits through it. Now, this is all going in the right direction. So in order to do that, I'm going to take my needle, I'm going to put it in the hole that's below the yarn and to the left of it, and simply pull that through. You don't need to have it as long as I do. I do that so that I don't have to change the needle so often. Now that I did that, I'm going to come up to the hole above it to the right. That way I keep it all going in one direction. And I'm going to take the needle and come down into the hole below and to the left. And that's how you can get that pattern that is all going slanted to the right. You can slant it to the left or whatever. So that's the background. Now, I'm going to show you two different techniques for latch hooking. The basic latch hook, the yarn is about 2.5 inches. And you're going to need a latch hook, which you can buy at Walmart for about $1.50. And what you're going to do is wrap the piece of yarn around the back part close to the handle of the latch hook. At that point, you're going to insert it in the hole and out through the hole directly above it. Okay, now, the reason this is called a latch hook, there's a latch. It's right on my fingernail. It can be closed or open. So you want it open while you're doing this. And you take your piece of yarn and you're going to wrap it so that the latch is below it. And you take both pieces of yarn around the latch to the right, start pulling the latch to come through the hole. At that point, when the latch closes, you're going to let go of your yarn and pull it through. And that's how you get this look. The only difference in the two techniques is if you want this fluffier type of look that the head, the tail, and the legs are, it's longer and fluffier. You simply take your piece of yarn, and they're all in three strands. So you separate the strands, and you're going to do one thing different. You're gonna pull it through the same way, but instead of doing it in the middle, you're going to do it off center, so you have a longer piece. Then I'm going to hold it the same way I did for the other one, through the hole, up through the top, the next hole above it, wrap it around the latch, start pulling it so the latch closes, and pull it through. And you can see that this is longer and fluffier looking because it's separated. And actually, once you're done with this, you can brush this and it gets fluffier and fluffier. So, the only other thing to let people know is you can either buy kits which can get very expensive, or you can buy a pattern at a craft store like Michael's or online, eBay. Just Google it. And that's really the cheapest way to go because the yarn isn't expensive. And hopefully that's going to help everybody so that you too can make beautiful rugs and wall hangings.